Sports fans, do not miss our companion podcast that will focus in even more depth on the triangle offense, why I'm so devoted to it, what worked so well for so long, and how it imploded in New York. It's a must listen. Plus, in honor of the triangle, you can order this limited edition exclusive BBallBreakdown t-shirt with this way cool pinch post design on it. This will undoubtedly become a collector's item, so click on the link in the description below and get your hands on this BBallBreakdown branded t-shirt now. You in? As the news unfolded that Phil Jackson was stepping down as president of the New York Knicks, many fans rejoiced. Of course, I was not among the happy people that day, as I came to terms with the fact that the pure triangle offense was dead. Of course, it had been dead for quite a long time, since not even the Knicks under Phil ran it as a pure offense, which basically doomed it to fail. I chose 5 games from throughout last season to analyze every half-court possession, almost 500 of them, to see whether the triangle offense deserved the anger and disrespect so many people heaped upon it. 4 of the games were targeted by choosing their best 2 and worst 2 scoring outputs. So let's start with a mid-November game in Boston Garden. Scoring only 87 points, I wanted to see if the triangle was the culprit. Turns out, they ran it on 11 possessions out of 108 total, scoring 1 point per possession. Considering their overall half-court efficiency was .92, the triangle was working here. So let's examine the quality of shots on these possessions, since it's the process that matters, not the result. It makes sense they start the game out in triangle, since they probably rehearsed this set beforehand, and it's pinch post, where Porzingis gets the ball at the elbow on the left side. Melo is supposed to set a down screen on Isaiah, but whiffs, and then was supposed to rub off Noah to get open down low. Even though he completely ignores all the details, he still gets a good look from 12 feet with a guy 6 inches shorter than him, but can't hit. They run the same play again, but Porzingis decides to run the 2-man game on the left side with Rose. And when they get a switch, he isolates on the mismatch of Jerebko, getting him a tough turnaround jump hook from 8 feet. I'm sure Phil envisioned the pinch post option being one where Melo could absolutely dominate his man, but he simply did not run it right. After the triangle is set up on the left side, Melo is supposed to start here and then cut up to the elbow to receive the pass. Yet he would constantly walk to that position early and then try wrestling with his man, taking away the beauty of the motion of the triangle. Even still, he makes a good move but blows the layup. If you want an example of Rose not understanding where he's supposed to go, this is a good one. The guard-to-guard out top trigger center opposite rub, where Holiday rubs off of Noah to the strong side low post, and Rose loosens up to the left corner to form the triangle. Once KP reverses the ball to the top, he's supposed to set a pin down for Rose, who's supposed to bring his man close to the block before sprinting off the ball screen looking for a handoff from Noah. Just watch how he stands there watching the ball, and now the whole motion and rhythm of the offense has been destroyed. They get the 2-man game on the right side, but Lee burps up a bad shot with time on the clock. They spread the floor well out of this type of initiation, and when Porzingis rubs to the strong side, he gets enough of an opening to go to work and get the bucket. You can see where they started to play with the offense a little, which I thought was cool. They swing the ball, but instead of forming the triangle, the center goes to screen the wing instead of cutting to the low post. Now, this should have flowed right into pinch post action, which I think would have been the better idea, but even so, look at the pick and roll action they get. A good shot in the lane for O'Quinn. And if you're excited to get to a game this year, believe it or not, we're inside of 50 days till the season starts. And there's no better way to get tickets to any sporting event or concert than with SeatGeek. It's a seamless experience as you can buy tickets, use their grading system to know how great a deal it is, see the vantage point from the seat, and feel confident knowing that every purchase is fully guaranteed. Best of all, use my code BBall and you'll get $20 off your first purchase. So download the SeatGeek app now, and you can be courtside at the Garden to see your new-look Knicks against the Pistons on October 21st. And with my code BBall, turn that savings into an ice-cold beverage or two. On New Year's Eve, they scored 122 points against Houston as their second highest mark. They only ran triangle 5 times out of 104 possessions and didn't score on them at all. But let's look at the shots and see. Again, they run at the first play of the game while it's fresh in their minds. They get the triangle set up and hit the low post. This triggers the baseline speed cut by the corner, and the passer cuts to the hoop and is then supposed to screen Melo, who could curl into the lane or cut to get open at the free throw line. Already Melo is out of position standing on the lane line. He should be 5 feet farther away from the hoop, and now there's no space to set the screen for him. Noah opts to hit Rose, and this should naturally flow into a ball screen, but Melo is more interested in slipping it so he can get the pass back. While it's not the worst shot, you can see how much is being left on the table by ignoring the details. For whatever reason, blame the players, blame the coaches, I don't know, the Knicks never got comfortable enough with the offense to handle even the slightest deviation from the normal routes. Normally, Kuzminskas would cut to the pinch post to receive the pass, but as soon as he cuts to the wing, everyone gets confused. Thomas is supposed to rub off the center to the left block, and Holiday should go to the corner. But nothing much happens, and Kuz is left to create on his own, something he's not very good at all, even against Harden. Again, by Melo not getting in the proper starting spot, he's missing out on all sorts of clever action. Had he started lower and off the lane line, he could take 2 steps toward the ball, then spin back to the hoop for a lob. There is no threat of this, and it allows Decker to lean on him and gum up the works. He's late starting his dribble pitch to Rose, but even still, the triangle keeps them in some flow, where they get a post up from Melo, but he's got to get it off over 2 defenders as the shot clock winds down. While this looks like basic motion offense, they break into 2 key triangle actions. One is the automatic pick and roll when the ball goes to the corner, and the other is an elbow screen when the ball goes into the low post. You see that an extra pass to Kuz out top would have gotten them a wide open 3-ball. In February, they hooked up with the Nuggets for a wild game where they scored 123 points. They barely ran the triangle at all, but when they did, it worked great. 5 possessions, 10 points, for a very healthy 2.0 points per possession. They didn't start the game out with a triangle possession, but eventually did get blind pig with Melo flashing middle. Rather than wait for Jennings to come around a double pin down, Melo finds space for the jumper. To get a sense of the flow of the offense, you can see how they ran pinch post into the 2-man game on the right side, flowing into a nice pick and roll that not only opened up a good look for a 3, but got a layup for the roll man. Just so it's clear, every option in the triangle flows into a corner 3-ball if ran right off the diagram. Instead of Holiday cutting to the outside of Melo looking for the ball back, he tries to rub screen. The offense continues to run normally as Jennings gets the dribble pitch, and that opens up the corner 3 with good balance for both offensive rebounding and getting back on defense. And more pinch post action for Melo, where again, I'm sure Phil envisioned lots of space for him to go to work either on the elbow or on the wing while the defense was occupied with their men on the weak side. Things got strange on March 14th against Indiana when they ran the triangle 21 times, but only getting 11 points out of it. Here was the obligatory opening possession of the game triangle for Phil's benefit. Interestingly, instead of ball screening for Lee, they opt to swing it back around for another triangle setup to the corner. Too bad Rose mishandled the behind-the-back dribble. Otherwise, he had Melo open. Instead, he has to give it to KP with no time on the clock. The Knicks fell in love with rubbing Melo off a weak side shuffle cut, but rather than command great low post position or cutting to the open area in the corner for a pick and roll, he torpedoed the offense to simply retrieve the ball on the wing. The set falls apart on a runner by Porzingis that misses badly. They also seem to prefer setting a ball screen for the pinch post, and Baker finds space for the mid-range game and knocks it down. With both Rose and Melo out, we get some real pure triangle offense, and it's run almost to perfection after an awkward start. Hernan Gomez flashes middle to receive the ball and initiate the backstep cut by Baker. The defense collapses, nice dish to Porzingis, and the monster slam. This set was one of the few I saw that was ran with the proper speed, as the ball and players moved quickly across pinch post, attacking on the catch to collapse the defense. It does look a little bit like the beautiful game the Spurs ran, But this is all straight triangle, up until the part when the pass for the layup doesn't get through. They hardly ever ran the high post series, and I'm not sure why, since you can see quite a few openings. A slip pass to the open Baker, Willie shouldn't have dribbled here, but then he gets a slip to the hoop, and a surefire 2 points until Monte stripped him. Here was the high post again, and my ears pricked up because it involved both Rose and Melo. Hernangomez needed to roll to the hoop and to the weak side, which would have opened up an attack for Rose along the baseline. Instead, his low post position invited Rose to jack up this 3-ball, and although it did lead to a better look for Melo, the Knicks come up empty. This possession was a good example of what made me so frustrated watching the Knicks try to run the triangle. Again, Melo needed to cut to the pinch post instead of just standing on the spot, and then Rose doesn't seem engaged as he's walking towards the corner and not screening like he should. Of course, this set died and left Willie to toss up an ugly post shot. Another little wrinkle that I really liked is when they curl the cutter around the elbow screen and then around pinch post. Baker was supposed to get out of the corner for spacing, but Hernangomez still gets a layup. Instead of a reverse, he shot it on the left side right into Turner's hand. But the point shouldn't be ignored. They got a point-blank shot. I also decided to look at the next game to see if they ran the triangle as much, and they ended up going right back to 9 times versus the Nets, and it worked much better for them as they posted 15 points. On this set, they got modern by not waiting to fill the corner, instead running a low post split like the Warriors do. I like how this flows into a dribble pitch to Baker, but hey, a fake handoff gets some daylight for Lance Thomas to knock down the jumper. We got another blind pig to Baker, but KP should be cutting to the other side of the lane. Lee has nowhere to go, but a great cut by Baker and nice find by Porzingis gets them a layup from the triangle spacing. So in the end, many things led to the downfall of the Knicks under Phil Jackson. I'd argue he sealed his fate the moment he gave Carmelo a no-trade clause. And while there were some dramatic mistakes made, don't overlook the fact that he brought in solid players that could flourish in the triangle. Guys like Porzingis, Holiday, Hernangomez, Kuzminskis, Ron Baker, and, had he been healthy even a little bit, Joakim Noah. But alas, the battle was too great when it incorporated Derrick Rose and Carmelo Anthony on the other side. And we are now left to ponder the last moment when a team tried to adhere in public to the triangle's principles. While almost every team in the league executes many of the triangle's actions on a nightly basis, we will never see a pure triangle team in the NBA again. And one can only hope that its roots will continue to influence the modern game. Sports fans, to see more of our great NBA content and analysis, make sure to hit the subscribe button, but also click the bell and adjust your settings so you can get an alert the second our videos drop, because trust me, you're going to want them hot and fresh. You in?